Hey everybody, welcome to the Scentitar channel. It's a pleasure to have you here. It truly is. Thank you. And before I start, I wanted to talk about this channel. If you're new to this channel, this is all about finding fragrances, exploring them, learning about them. So I invite you, if you do like this kind of thing, to like, comment, and subscribe. I do make videos about all kinds of different topics. And today it's especially a video for the ladies or about the ladies. This is a top 10 best of the best fragrances for ladies that they just love. So if you're a lady, looking for a fragrance that you can buy, you're gonna find a great one here. I will make a video about new interesting perfumes just for you ladies. And guys, stick tuned as well, because you're gonna find a wonderful gift that'll be great for your girlfriend, fiance, a friend, your mom, anybody. So let's jump into it. There's a bunch of great fragrances here. I usually don't put these in a particular order, but I will talk about some and kind of mention if I think they're a little bit special to me. But let's get into it. So the first one I wanted to mention is a crowd pleaser. It's a winner for sure. It's Angel Muse. I'm going to be putting photos up here because I don't own these myself, but I have smelled them and know about them. So, Mugler, Angel Muse. Mugler makes all kinds of wonderful fragrances. They have a signature kind of patchouli, a kind of smoky DNA, but this one is so sweet. It's so gourmand. It's just lovely. It's very appealing. It's very flirty, but yet it has a very womanly vibe to it. It has that kind of, sweet floral mix that you really want a lot of the times in a great female fragrance. So I feel like it's a gourmand that you can really pull off in everyday situations. It's not too gourmand that it would be too flirtatious in everyday situations. It could be pulled off at work, but it's a great fragrance for a first date or just feeling, girly, and perhaps a little bit, like a wonderful woman. So when I smelled that one, I was really impressed. The patchouli and the chocolate came through. It was had that good feel where it was sweet but not too dense and not too rich. I thought it was just a great fragrance. So that's number one. Number two is Shalimar Soufflé de Parfum. So Soufflé is a flanker of Shalimar, and Shalimar is a classic fragrance that a lot of ladies know and love, and for good reason. I personally prefer or think it's better, and especially in modern times, than Chanel No. 5. Shalimar really has lasted and continued, and throughout the ages for a good reason, throughout the times. And Shalimar, the Soufflé edition is just a little bit softer. It's a little bit more powdery. I think it feels a little bit more modern. It might have a touch more sweetness, but it's a wonderful fragrance. It smells kind of clean in a way, not soapy, but kind of feels kind of transparent. It kind of reminds me of silk in a way. It's just very smooth. It's very wonderful. It'd be wonderful for a date, or if you were to wear, a very smooth dress. It's just a wonderful fragrance. I do feel like it's for a particular lady. I don't feel like the fragrance shouts. It's not too loud, but it still has a good presence. And it almost has the effect of having a good sillage, or when you walk past people, they can smell it without really being musky. So I feel like that's really interesting in a fragrance. So that's Shalimar Soufflé. I think it's really interesting. I'd encourage you to smell it if you've never had the chance to. It's great. So the next one is a flanker to a wonderful fragrance, a real winner in the fragrance game. This is La Vie est Belle, L'Éclat. So the regular La Vie est Belle means, I think it means life is beautiful, or the beautiful life, something to that effect. And it certainly does make you think or feel those kinds of things. It's kind of a womanly fragrance for sure. It's sweet, it's playful, it's great for everyday situations. It's just a wonderful fragrance through and through. I don't think many ladies would dislike it, unless they love niche or very particular with their fragrances. It's great for everyday situations. So if you know a lady who wants a fragrance for any situation, every day, anytime, it's a great fragrance. And Les Eclats, I feel like it's just a little bit more fruity, and I feel like the fragrance maybe has a touch of more floral, or they kind of tone down the sweetness a tiny bit, and that's kind of interesting when the fragrance is more fruity but a tiny bit less sweet. I don't know what they did, but I kind of enjoy it. Some people might have felt the original was a little too sweet, and this one just is a little bit more interesting, perhaps a touch more tropical. So it's a wonderful fragrance for anyday situations. La Vie Belle is well known for having good performance, and it really does perform just right. It performs well. So that's La Vie Belle, Les Eclats. So the next one is Mugler Alien. Guys or gals, you might have heard about this one. If you haven't, it's going to be something wonderful probably for you when you smell it. It's Mugler Alien is very different from the Angel Muse, the first one in the list. This one has a little bit more of a kind of a mysterious side to it, a little bit of maybe a dark side. It has a patchouli, an interesting patchouli. It has it's not musky, it's not disgusting, but it does have a little bit of a feel of kind of an animalic touch. And so this fragrance is going to be bold, it's going to be a little bit different, but it doesn't really project monstrously. It's definitely noticeable, but in the designer world, or fragrances that everybody knows about, or they're kind of more easily accessible, this is a very different fragrance. If you're looking for a gift for a lady who likes to wear purple, or is mysterious, or maybe has a lot of fragrances, this is one that she might have not tried before. I do feel like this fragrance is more for the lady who kind of shies away or doesn't like the florals or the light fruity scents as much. This is a fragrance for a specific lady, so it's not going to be for everyone. But I had to mention it because it's a very interesting fragrance. It really is. And even though it's out there, it's accessible, I don't think everybody knows about it. I mean, and then there's flankers of it as well. So that's Mugler Alien, guys and gals. So we're gonna get next to YSL Black Opium, and I wanted to put these two fragrances side by side because Black Opium is a fragrance that has patchouli, it has some darkness, but it's rich and good, it's gourmand, it's sweet. It's a wonderful fragrance. It does project. It is like Alien, that it's going to be for a specific lady, but I feel like this fragrance performs, and it performs well. It's very noticeable. It's very bold. It's dark but yet sweet. It's a tantalizing fragrance. I really do feel like it's a real showstopper. As a guy, this is a fragrance that would do very well. So I can't talk enough good about Black Opium. There's quite a few flankers as well. If you're looking for something with a different twist on it, or you've owned Black Opium a couple times, there's different flankers of it you could try as well. So that's Black Opium. It's dark. It's sweet. It is really just tantalizing. It almost smells smoky in a way, but not particularly. It does have a tiny bit of that musky, animalistic vibe in the base, but it's a wonderful fragrance. So now guys and gals, we're going to jump to a fragrance that's really mass appealing. It really is. It's nothing like the previous two. This is Guerlain Terracotta. So guys, Guerlain Terracotta it's just a mass appealing kind of fragrance. But nothing's wrong with that, but this one is a little bit more interesting, I feel. A lot of people have they kind of shunned it away, they kind of turned it down. Just after smelling the opening, they said maybe nothing special. If they would have given it more of a try, I think maybe their opinions might have changed. This is a fragrance that does smell very mass appealing. It might not smell original, but if you give it time, Terracotta has almost of a dry, almost like a desert vibe to it. I don't know of a lot of female fragrances that do. There are some niche fragrances for men that do. There are some desert fragrances out there. They're mostly for men. And not a lot of people even know about those, but for a female fragrance to have that kind of interesting dry kind of feel, that kind of airy feel, I thought was something really interesting. And the prices are not bad. And again, the performance with this one, like most of these fragrances, are good if not great. So Terracotta is one I think that didn't get a lot of attention, is perhaps gonna fly under people's radars, and I encourage you to try it out. It's just an interesting fragrance, but it's still easily wearable in everyday situations, and is a great fragrance, as a gift. It's really hard to dislike. So that's Guerlain's Terracotta, and if I may say so, I think it's much better than J'adore by Dior, and that's just my opinion. But it's a J'adore killer, if I can say that. If that's too bold, let me know in the comments below. With anything I say, let me know if it's a home run, or if it's if I'm just plain wrong. Let me know. So let's jump to Miss Dior, Absolutely Blooming. So I gave Dior a little bit of a hard time there, but Dior, they're still in the game. They got great fragrances too. Christian's Dior, their Miss Dior Absolutely Blooming is a flanker of the original Miss Dior. You might know about it, you might not, but Miss Dior is another wonderful fragrance that's very mass appealing. It smells great to everybody. It's flirty, it's womanly, and I felt like it was a little bit more floral to begin with like tuberose, but Absolutely Blooming kicks up the florals even more. So if you're a lady who has loved Chloe fragrances or very floral fragrances particularly, this one has a little bit of that womanly vibe, but it has all kinds of florals. It's blooming. It's absolutely blooming, and I feel like this is one that you're gonna love. That you're really gonna, it's really gonna do the job for you. And guys, if you know your gal loves those floral fragrances, those light fragrances, this is one that is really gonna be just wonderful for her. And they did a great job with this one. If you're doing lots of complex floral notes, it's kind of hard to do because sometimes it becomes too complex, or becomes muddled or chaotic. So they were able to make those fresh florals, all kinds of florals going on in this one, and it works in harmony. So I can't recommend that one enough for that kind of lady, for sure. So we've talked about dark fragrances, and now we've got some floral, some light fragrances. So what's next? We got Christian Dior's Good Girl. So Dior still got it. They got another heavy hitter in the game. No, this is Carolina Herrera Good Girl. Sorry, I was mistaken about that. Good Girl is by Carolina Herrera is a wonderful fragrance as well. Can't say enough good about it. It's mass appealing. It's a womanly fragrance, but it too has a mysterious vibe to it. It too has kind of a sweetness to it, and it has a tiny bit of muskiness to it. It's a fragrance that smells mass appealing and kind of like a regular fragrance, but as it dries down, it becomes a little bit more playful, a little bit more attractive, a little bit more sensual as it dries down. So Carolina Herrera Good Girl is a fragrance I don't think a lot of ladies know about. And guys, trust me, if you buy this one, just the presentation alone, looking like that high heel shoe, I got the picture above there, and it can leave a great impression. It's a showstopper for sure. So the next one I want to talk about is Hermes Jour de Hermes. Guys, Hermes Jour de Hermes, it's a white floral fragrance, but don't let that scare you. White florals are often associated with old fragrances because they did love them. They did use a lot of white florals that your mom or your grandma, her kind of fragrances. But Jour de Hermes has like honey and feels very well bodied. It's not too floral, and the white florals are done just right. So perhaps if your lady is younger and likes light florals, this is one that's going to work really well for her. I feel like a lot of ladies do like white florals, but there's not a lot of fragrances that are modern and use white florals, or at least do them very well. And this is one by Hermes that really does do it. I was very happy to learn about this fragrance and know about it, and I'm letting you know these kind of things. So, or even a gift for your mom. I mean, this is a wonderful fragrance. I can't say enough good about this one. So we're going to jump to the last fragrance. We're going to jump to Lolita Limpica, and they have all kinds of flankers, so I'm going to leave that open to your choice. Let's talk about the original. This is a fragrance that is definitely womanly. It's I feel is a little bit more of the feel of purple. It's playful. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit light, but has an interesting licorice note. Now, this licorice note makes the fragrance feel a little bit more interesting, a little bit more playful. And even though I think it is a great fragrance for dates, it's a great fragrance for any situation, anytime, anywhere. And the great thing about this fragrance is that it's light. It can be pulled off anytime, anywhere. It's not too bold. It's never going to choke anybody out. So ladies, if you're worried about that kind of thing, or if you wanted kind of a playful, interesting fragrance that smells a little bit darker for everyday situations, look no further than Lolita Limpica, and the price is just right. So this has been my top 10 list. I know this has been a long video. I hope that I seriously and sincerely hope that you enjoyed this video here with me. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I can do better in these videos. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear about, because I'm here for you guys at the Scentitar channel. So I'll see you guys and gals next time. And bye. Have a great one this holiday. Bye.